I couldn't progress in the demo, and I spent
That's not fun.
and I didn't want to look it up. Like I wanted to like do it myself. I'm like, no, like this is an RPG. I can figure it out. Like it's a keypad. Like you have to get like a three-number keypad just to
Yeah.
go through the door. And I'm like,
I'm the good gamer. I have to know how to do this.
hello and welcome to the Bad Gamer, Good Gamer podcast. Summer Game Fest has come and gone, and it left us with a truckload of game announcements. We did cover some of our top picks over the last few days. However, there were a few noteworthy gems that have slipped past us, and we're here to talk about them today. So sit down, relax, and enjoy the show. Hey Tim, how's it going?
Hey, Felt Food. It's going good. How are you?
Not bad, not bad. Weekend's almost done. Sad.
Unfortunately,
Yeah.
but we still have 12 hours, 11 hours left.
Yeah, well, mine's already done. For you, it's more and more for you. I'm gonna live vicariously through you over those 12
Oh,
hours.
I'm gonna be sleeping a lot, but okay, thank you.
That sounds wonderful, man. I
Thanks
wish I
for the
could.
pressure.
I wish I could sleep like midday like that.
It's a talent.
Yeah, it is.
So, what are we gonna talk about today?
Well, you know, Summer Game Fest officially over now. I would say, even though there have been a few
Mm.
announcements. So we're gonna go over the games that kind of slipped through us, or like that we haven't talked about, that we need to talk about because they are just great
Yeah.
games. Um,
Because
that's
our process is but our process is that for each show or each episode that we want to do, we list all the games that were announced from an event like the Summer Game Fest or the State of Play or the Xbox Bethesda showcase, and then we just pick the ones that we want to talk about. But there's usually, and like not everything, of course, because
makes the
we ended up
cut.
with like 40, 50 plus minute long episodes, and the whole point is to have shorter episodes. Oops, my mic.
which
The whole
which we
point is to have
never end up
yeah,
doing.
hopefully this is gonna be the one. Like this episode is gonna like start off a new standard for us. So there were games that were always left out, and I guess this is just like the last opportunity for us to talk about them. So shall we begin and not waste any time?
Yeah, I think you should start us off with the first game because this was on your list as well as
This
mine.
was on my list. Yeah, exactly. The Plucky Squire by All Possible Futures. Now this is a very interesting game. When it first it
Yeah,
was in Devolver, right?
yeah,
It
Devolver
was a
Digital,
Yeah.
fantastic showcase by the way. But yeah,
Amazing showcase. Like Xbox Bethesda had the best showcase in terms of like announcements. Devolver had the best one in terms of presentation.
style. Yeah, they
Period.
had the
And
style,
yeah,
hands
yeah,
down.
it was only like maybe 6 or 7 games that were announced, and this one made it through the list for me because it's a very nice concept. So you play as a character that jumps out of a 2D platformer like game inside a storybook into the real world, into this 3D space. The adventurer's name is Jot, and this is like an adventure game through and
Yeah,
through. It's got very childish graphics, like in the storybook format and in the real world. But the real world is not like by childish I mean that it's bad, but no, it's good. It's very polished, but it just looks softer. I want to say, or
it's
like
it's a wow factor when he jumps out of the book or out of the 2D
yeah,
plane into the 3D, and then you're like, oh, whoa, it opens up the
yeah.
world. Like
It
it's really
it
cool.
reminded me of um what's the name of the game? The Mario game on the Mario World Odyssey, Mario World Odyssey. Like remember
Ah,
how polished that 3D world was, even though it still kind of looked cartoonish or like
yeah,
simple or whatever. To me, it kind of felt like that, and then felt even a lot more, like you said, when he jumps from that storybook 2D landscape, like it was a top-down view thing, a bit isometric, into the 3D world, like he makes that switch, that transition. It looked really nice.
yeah,
And the style changes between those two worlds. And in the trailer, part of the trailer, I could see that he plays like a level or a puzzle or something on the surface of a mug.
yeah, and then it becomes like a
So,
shooter or something in that mug. Yeah,
yeah, exactly. Yeah, but then it goes back to like 2D, right? But like shooter style type of thing. So I guess this is an element in the game. It's not like just from the book to the real world and then the rest of the game is in the real world, but
mm,
like because the world is a child's like playroom
yeah,
or bedroom or something. So there's like a lot of stuff around, and I'm assuming that a lot of these like little objects and whatnot will be part of your gameplay experience. Just like this mug, you kind of go into it and you play the shooter game. So I really like that concept. I like the idea. If it was just a storybook thing, like, because there was a game that we talked about last year on the
Draw.
old
It
podcast.
was also like a drawing stencil
A drawn
style
thing, and like it was
game. I
in a
forgot the name.
storybook, and you
Yeah,
flip through the pages and whatever. That was interesting by itself, but I really like what they did
it's the next step for
with
that.
this.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So yeah, that's the first game that I'm gonna talk about. It's coming to Xbox Series X and S, PS5, Switch, and PC, but no idea when.
No
Like
date.
they just
Yeah.
announced it, I believe. Yeah, there was no date for it.
So probably not this
Um,
year from that fact
yeah,
alone.
probably not. I mean, if they didn't announce like that it's coming in 2022, then probably not. But it looked good enough as it is, so I don't know. We'll have to wait until they announce the next game, or until they announce this game.
Mm.
For the next game, though, this is something that you didn't really quite
It
get,
wasn't.
I guess, or like yeah.
I just wasn't for me. I guess like when I first saw it. But like I could be wrong. That's why I want you to try to convince me. Otherwise,
All right. Hopefully, I will. American Arcadia is the game that I'm talking about from Out of the Blue Studios, and it was part of the official selection of the Tribeca Games Festival. So, if you care about that, it's that. I'm gonna take a quote from that I found on the YouTube page, which like describes the game really well because I missed out on like one factor when I initially wrote down the notes.
Okay.
So it's a 17th retro-futuristic metropolis where all its citizens enjoy a life of luxury and comfort, unaware that they're being broadcast live 24/7. Arcadia is not an ordinary city, and but the most watched reality show on the planet, where the drop in popularity ratings comes at the highest cost, death.
And what does that
So,
remind you of? Like that premise
uh,
alone.
Truman Show, like that's the first thing that like kind of like rung in my head.
Mm.
This is the Truman Show. If you guys are too young to know about this, or if you don't remember this, it's a really good movie. One of like the early movies I want to say for Jim Carrey, where he plays this guy that is unawarely, no, he plays this guy, completely unaware, being a star of a reality show that everybody on the planet is watching. The whole town he's in is like all fake.
It's fake,
Everybody
yeah.
around him is all fake. Even his parents are fake. Like I think as a baby, the studio bought the rights to the baby before, like as to the fetus, even like before he was born. The studio bought rights for his life basically from the parents that didn't want to have the child and like wanted to put it up for adoption. And since he was like a infant, a toddler, he was being broadcasted live for like all his life, and everything around him is fake. So this is different because the whole town, the whole city is unaware that they're being broadcasted live on TV.
Yeah, it's not just one person.
And yeah, and then like there's no also like death thing to it or whatever. Every time in the Truman Show, every time Truman tries to escape, they do something to try to make him stay in the city. So I remember like one thing was like even subconsciously they try to do stuff like always putting on headlines in the newspaper that the I think it was called Moon Crescent Town or whatever is like the best town to live in, like in the US or something like that. So all these like subliminal things to try to make him stay and not even think of leaving. But in this game, the protagonist is called Clever, and he is trying to escape. The studio or like the corporation behind Arcadia City is trying at all means to keep him from escaping and even like killing him. So like the truth doesn't come out or anything of that sort. So there was like a chase scene, a car chase scene in the game. There were like him escaping into a pool, running away from like guards and all that sort of stuff. It's not a shooter. It's not nothing like that. I don't know what to call the camera style. Like it changes.
Yeah, it changes perspective several times.
Several times, exactly, yeah. And the only clue of how he can even like manage to do this is there seems to be a woman that's helping him. She's communicating with him, and she's helping him to escape. I think she works in the corporation because she has access to all the feeds. You see that in the trailer. So that's about it. Not a lot has been revealed, especially like who Trevor is and what his background is and why he's trying to escape. How did he find out? All that sort of stuff. But I just really like the idea of it. And you're either playing as Trevor or you're playing as this woman that's looking at Trevor and then instructing him on what to do, I guess. Yeah, maybe. I don't know how that is, but I think you really are just playing as Trevor. And then you're getting instructions from this other character who's unnamed at the moment. And yeah, it's coming to PC and they said to console, but they didn't specify which consoles. and that is coming soon. Again, no release
Another
date.
game, yeah, that's
Another coming
unknown.
soon game. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, we're talking about all these games pretty much with no specific release date, by the way. Just
Yeah,
heads
but
up.
they're interesting to some degree, right? And like
Yeah.
to me, this is what like I liked about it. Maybe it's because it reminded me of the Truman Show, which growing up was, I think, one of my favorite movies, or like a movie that I really liked watching a lot, and I really enjoyed it. So this reminded me of that, and obviously it had a different twist to it. So yeah, that's my take. Hopefully, when the game comes out, you'll see more of it, and maybe you'll be intrigued.
Personally, yeah, but I'm way more intrigued about the next game, which I actually played. There's a demo out, Agent 64 by Replicant D6. So this one, we have spoken about GoldenEye several times, and there has been rumors about a GoldenEye remaster, remake, whatever game for a while now, and which hasn't been announced yet. Like everyone was expecting it by Summer Game Fest or something. Not out. But Agent 64 like is exactly that. It's a retro first person shooter inspired by GoldenEye. Even though if the developers don't say it flat out, it's GoldenEye. And when you
Yeah.
play it, you even feel it. So it has like the same kind of blocky graphics. You have it has the same like shooting mechanics. Like if anyone remembers, like the gun like turns slow and then you can stop, and then you can like aim your gun up and down. Like you just press a button and hold, and then it just aims the gun. Same as GoldenEye. So it invokes that nostalgia. And style.
Nostalgia.
Yeah. Really well. Like I played the demo, finished it completely, and really enjoyed my time. Like it was a solid shooter. It's still a good shooter game. And another thing that you pointed out that I didn't even know about, that you can create and share campaigns with friends. So this is an important one, I think, that everyone's
Yeah,
gonna go crazy on.
I saw this in the trailer. I'm like, oh, like I wonder how robust this like level maker thing that they have is.
Yeah.
Like it would be cool. I'm like, if it is robust enough, then I'm pretty sure people will start replicating levels from the GoldenEye game.
100%. This is what I'm
Yeah.
hoping for. Yeah.
Yeah, like it's kind of like the mods that we saw for which game was it? They got a GoldenEye mod, and they got
I
like
want to say Fallout, or which one was it?
one of these games.
Yeah, it was one of those games.
Yeah.
I think it was Fallout. Correct me if I'm wrong, but like, yeah, they had a GoldenEye level, and then it was taken down, or like it
It
was
was
pointed
taken
out.
down.
Yeah.
Yeah. The only thing that I'm thinking of now is, oh, actually, no. Before that, in case people don't know, like if we're talking again to any of the young people who don't even know what the Truman Show is, GoldenEye is a 007 game on the Nintendo 64.
Yeah.
Like like I believe it kickstarted, or if it was the like the father of all FPS games.
Yeah.
Because I don't know what else was like that popular back then.
No, it was big back then. Like everyone played it back then. Like it was
And then the
easier.
4 player co-op split view thing.
Yeah, that was
we
huge.
spent so many hours, me and my brother and his friend, and a couple of my friends sometimes, like just playing that game.
Yeah.
It's massive in terms of
100%
like how important.
you did golden gun mode. Everyone had the golden
Oh yeah,
gun.
Golden Gun mode. Exactly. Yeah.
That was the thing.
The game even replicated the blocky graphics of GoldenEye,
Yeah.
like Agent 64. And of course, another sort of like hint that this is referencing GoldenEye is that it's called Agent 64.
It's pretty on the nose. Like it's,
Agent 007, Nintendo 64. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, come on. Even the protagonist, like his face, looks like Sean Connery.
almost, yeah. With
Like
the mustache.
like a very blocky version of like that's the
Or
first
the
thing that
beard,
popped
I
in my
mean.
head.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Even though GoldenEye was supposed to be, or like it's
What's his name?
what's his name? The Pierce Brosnan
Yeah, you got it.
007, Agent 007. Yeah. But I guess Sean Connery is like the old school,
He's the OG.
most recognizable one. Yeah. So yeah, that's you played it. How's the gameplay? Like, how is it?
So I want to play it again, and I think I'll play it again when it comes out. Like I was saying before, like you get the exact feel and motion of GoldenEye, like it's there. So and you play through I think one level or one stage, and the enemies are I think just as bad as I remember them. Like they try to roll and
The AI or
yeah, the AI of the enemies,
Yeah.
like they're slow to react. You can like take your time, aim on their heads, and like kill them.
yeah. Yeah.
There was only one difficulty mode, I think, or maybe there's several, but like I just press start and play it, So I'm sure there's harder modes like by
once the game
release.
comes
Yeah.
out.
Otherwise, I enjoyed my time. It's a good
I,
game.
I wanted to check if the sound of the guns are also similar.
I didn't pay too much attention about the guns, but there is a similar gun for the PPK that you start with. Like it's a similar
Yeah, yeah,
starting
yeah.
gun. There was
Yeah.
no AK-47. There was a machine gun. I think there was only two guns in the entire
But you play the
playthrough.
demo, right? Like
Yeah, the demo. So
yeah,
far, I'm
so
talking about the
we'll
demo.
have to like yeah,
Yeah.
we'll have to see once the game comes out, like if they bring back a lot of these classics
Yeah.
from GoldenEye into this game.
Definitely worth checking out. The demo's out right now. It's Next Fest. I think it's still ongoing on Steam. It's part of Next Fest. So
Hmm.
definitely check it out. Like this next game, which kind of came and went, and I only heard about it until after, like while we were like looking through our research, and it popped up on also Next Fest, is System Shock.
Yeah,
I know you
yeah.
don't know about this game, but like this
I
game
didn't know
is
about the original game, but
yeah.
it popped up in a couple of the articles that I was reading about games that showed up. It said Cyberpunk, whatever, so and so. I dismissed it because we've seen a lot of like Cyberpunk theme, but
Yeah.
all of the articles should have mentioned this game was originally released back in 1994.
Yeah, this game in
Like
back in
that would have
94.
like that alone would have caught my interest in
Yeah.
like the rebooting this game.
And this was shown off in the PC gamer, sorry, the game show. And it had one of the original guys talking about it. I can't remember if he was like the screenwriter or like writer or something, but like he was one of the original people on the game. And if you look at the game now, back in '94, it's a rough game. It's like it's very rough. And what made this game popular was actually System Shock 2, which updated the visuals, the style, and that's what was the more popular one. So it's made by a game dev. The game devs that made this game is called Night Dive Studios, and it's a reboot of the classic. If we haven't made that clear, and these guys are actually industry vets from games from Fallout New Vegas, Mass Effect, and BioShock. So that's already in good hands, kind of devs.
That's
you know?
a good resume right there. Yeah.
Yeah. And then, like, if everyone knows, it's back with the AI antagonist Shodan, which stands for Sentient Hyper Optimized Data Access Network. So she's back. We didn't see her yet, but you know she's in the game as we know.
You hear her though, like
Yeah.
that's she has the same GLaDOS sound effect.
I think
Right,
yeah, they
like-
made her more so now than before.
Yeah. Oh, okay. I didn't know what she was like before, but like when I was listening to the trailer, when I was watching the trailer, I heard her talk, and she did like the voice actress did an amazing job. The effect that they added, like you know the to make it like robotic at some like frequencies or something
Yeah.
was amazing. But then like I just started like wandering off and thinking like in all the games that we know about, if there's like an evil AI, is it always a woman, like a woman's voice? Like, is that a like? Did GLaDOS start that, or was that like something started, for example, with System Shock? Like, it became a trope. Like, AI is always like a woman's voice. Like, I don't know.
I think it became a trope. You know, you have Cortana.
Cortana is a
Yeah,
female.
exactly.
Like, yeah, yeah,
It could be. It could be just like
Yeah.
this is the standard.
maybe, yeah. But
But-
like, I like the trailer because they only showed gameplay. They didn't show anything else, and she was talking like. It was dubbed over the gameplay, and it really set the mood. What she was saying, and
Yeah.
like she wants to kill us all, basically.
Speaking of the gameplay, because I played the demo, so I was this is one of the games I was like I have to demo. I found it, and the moment I booted it up, I was instantly hooked. Like the visual style, the cyberpunk feel to the game, I was like, this is great style to the game, a great feel. And as I was going through it, like I was having fun. I was like picking up, weapons. There was robots you had to kill, and there was like, what do you call it? Like cameras, like droid cameras that you had to like shoot down. And I kind of got stuck in the first area, looking at corpses. I was going through the level. I'm looking at like consoles, pressing everything, and I'm like, the hell, where's this 3-number code? And I tried like 111. I tried like all these basic codes. I'm like, maybe it's something stupid. 123, nothing.
Yeah. Damn.
So I rage quit. I'm like, I can't believe this shit. So I didn't want to look it up. I had other things to do. I was like, done.
So I got to get back to it at some point. Like maybe start it from
I will.
scratch and.
I will. I think I might have broke the game because maybe I killed a robot that I wasn't supposed to, and then like it's possible. So
It is, of course, yeah. Like a lot of people break games sometimes. It just happens.
yeah. So
What you could do, like if you play it again and then the same thing happens, just email the devs, like tell them like I don't know,
I
I just don't
will.
know how to play this game or
Yeah.
something's up with the game. But
Hey,
there you go. This
I know
is
how to play games and I enjoy like a good puzzle or two, but I couldn't figure this one out. So
yeah,
again, I think I broke it. I think it was bugged or something.
yeah,
Um,
yeah.
but what surprised me more, like when I was going through the game, which they never announced, this was actually a Kickstarted project. Like this was kickstarted back in 2016, no less.
Yeah,
June
yeah.
28th, 2016. And the amazing thing is that they raised over $1,350,000 by 21,625 backers on Kickstarter. So obviously greenlit and
No,
everything.
that's yeah, exactly. That's amazing. But I think the reason why they never announced it is because it's been 6 years since the game was funded and it still hasn't come out.
Yeah,
It wouldn't make sense to say that, oh, this is our Kickstarter project.
that's
Like,
actually
no,
true.
this is now a legit 1 million plus, funded project.
Yeah.
I wonder if there's been any sort of like drama, like maybe it got delayed, because a lot of games on Kickstarter go through that. They get funded,
Eventually,
either
yeah.
the game comes out like way later over what was like planned or announced or what was promised to the
It
backers,
feels like a
or it
common
comes
thing. Yeah.
out like fragmented. It doesn't really come out, as the whole thing, or it comes out completely different than what people expected, like
Yeah,
No Man's
that's true.
Sky. Yeah, but the game does look good. The visuals,
It
the
plays
the
really well.
mood, the
Yeah.
setting, yeah, it does look good. Yeah.
So I'm
And
definitely
when's
looking forward
it
to this
supposed to
game.
come out?
Supposedly sometime this year. Well, 2022. Coming to, I'll list the things and then I'll tell you what I found out. PS4, PS5, Xbox One, Xbox Series S and X, Steam, GOG, Epic's Game Store. But when I was looking through it, like on GOG, it just says December 31st, 2022, which is obviously a placeholder for the game. So
Yeah,
could
yeah,
be
yeah.
anytime this year until they
A
announce it.
lot of websites just put the 31st of December when the release is supposed to be that year, but they don't have which specific
Yeah.
date. They just put that because that's like the last date of the year, so whatever, because they have to like update their system with like a date, and they just go with that.
Yeah.
And then when the release date is actually announced, they change it up and then that's it. No,
Yeah.
no harm, no foul.
So that's it. These are the four games that us and you guys should pay attention to. I think this is
Yeah,
like yeah,
there's a bunch more, of course. Like the Bethesda showcase alone was like 31
yeah,
announcements. The state of play was, I think, just under 30 or like in the mid 20s or something like that. Devolver was like, why? You know what? If you haven't seen it, the first thing you need to do is watch the Devolver showcase,
100%.
Devolver Digital 2020 showcase. Amazing.
I
They
already
got
shared it with
Suda
all my friends.
51 to play like a mech assistant robot type of thing. It was very meta. They were talking about the showcase in the showcase, if I'm not mistaken.
Mm.
Like
And the
it
games
was
industry at
weird.
large, yeah, like they were making fun
Yeah,
of the
yeah,
games
yeah. It was
industry.
very creative, very well done. They got actors. Like it wasn't like it was a mini film. Let's
Mm.
just say that.
They
It was a
usually do.
very self-aware, short film.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was fun. Oh, I think I'll watch it again just to for the kicks, you know.
Yeah. Any recommended showcases from your end before we end this?
Uh, to watch, other than Devolver Digital, obviously, which I might be covering by myself, might I add, is
Hmm.
the Final Fantasy VII 25th anniversary showcase. That was, if you're a Final Fantasy
That's a big
fan,
deal. Yeah.
100% watch it. That blew me away, and we will get into that later, at a later date. Yeah.
Yes, we
I want to
will.
deep dive. I want to like because there's a lot of blog posts on the Square Enix website, and I'm waiting for things to die down a bit and like so I can see all the announcements and like from developers. Nomura sent like a Twitter thing. Like there's a lot of things around it, so I'm gonna compile it all and we'll sit down and talk about it together.
And
For
then
sure.
we'll have another episode. We were just discussing this earlier. Like at some point in the future, where Fatty is going to question me about not liking turn-based RPGs.
Yeah,
Like he
yeah,
wants to like do a deep dive into me
that too.
and why I don't like turn-based RPGs. So who knows? Maybe this will be an episode. We'll have a small debate about it.
At an unknown date. Like let's continue with the
Oh
thing.
yeah, like we were
Sometime in
just talking
2022.
ideas. Yeah, yeah. Sometime in 20 by the 31st of December, we should put this up in GOG. By the 31st of December, that episode will come out along with hopefully other like non-news related episodes of us just like chit-chatting and like talking games and stuff. But anyways, that's it for now. Thanks for watching the episode. Drop us a like or a comment and subscribe for more content like this, or just go to badgood.gg to find our audio podcast. We're also on Twitter and Instagram at badgoodpod, so give us a follow over there, and we'll catch you in the next one.